appeared in the barn. A 1994 Chevrolet C4 Corvette. She needs a little bit of love, but she's not in too bad a shape. The headlight motors both have to be replaced because they sit there and do this business when you turn them on. And it's got a lot of little nitpicky things, but you know, and the tires are from 2009 or 2005, so we're definitely going to have to do something about that. And needs all new weather stripping. This has a removable top. They call it a target top, and none of the weather seals are there anymore. The windows are missing the seals, the pillars are missing the seals, the gap up here at the top is missing the seals. So I went and ordered a complete weather stripping kit so I can replace all of these, including the one it's got a hatchback. And I was amazed, when you look in the back of this thing, you could put an awful lot of groceries in the back of a Corvette. I was a little surprised. But Mrs. P grew up with a vet in the driveway, and now she gets to ride in another vet. So we're going to start a series of fixing this thing up, put a few videos online, and show you our progress. So come along with us as we take this 1994 Corvette that needs a little bit of love and get it back on the road. It's about midnight the next day. I spent the last day after we washed it and everything kind of going over it, looking everything over, checking for problems, checking for missing hardware and stuff like that, and we found a few things, but she's actually in pretty good shape. It's got wheel locks on 2 tires out of the 4, and then I discovered that the lug nuts that they're using, all the lug nuts, you have to use a special tool. I think that's something we're going to change, and definitely got to get new tires for this thing, and the rims need a little bit of love. The ECU, the computer that runs everything, it's not even bolted down because the little tray that it attaches to is busted, and I ordered that off of eBay real quick. I got a rebuild kit for both of the motors for the headlights, and that was about 60 bucks, and that's on its way. And I found out that the front lip underneath here, about 2/3 of it is missing. And here's why that's important: because this doesn't have a forward-facing grill. It literally scoops air up off of the ground and pulls it up into the radiator. That lip has got to be there for it to scoop the air up into the radiator like it's supposed to. I got that ordered, got a brand new one showing up probably Thursday, and went through and checked the oil levels and stuff, and everything looks like it needs to, you know, it's where it needs to be. The oils and stuff have been changed. He said he did a coolant flush on it, but it's awful rusty, so I'm going to have a go through and do another coolant flush on it to get it back to the green color it's supposed to be, because right now it's kind of red and rusty. Told you about the weather stripping. I got a full kit ordered, and it ought to be here sometime next week. And the horn doesn't work. That's real important, because in order to be able to get it inspected, the horn has to work. And I started chasing down that electrical problem. I've gone through several diagnostic steps, and basically the buttons on the steering wheel work. I've got power to it over here in the fuse block and stuff, and I've got power coming to the horn relay, but somewhere between the horn relay and the horns, there's no voltage. I went and put a multimeter on the leads, and we don't have any voltage there, so I've got to fix that in order to get it inspected. It's missing some injector covers and stuff over the engine. That's no big deal. I got those on order. There's a few bolts missing here and there, and luckily I found a box inside that has a whole bunch of hardware and bolts and nuts and stuff that go in various places on this car, which is a good thing. Got new visors ordered because the one that's in here are just falling apart. The wipers are going to get replaced. I have no idea how old those are, but they definitely need to be replaced in order to pass inspection. And the Corvette emblems are missing. That's no big deal. I got those ordered. And other than that, it's in pretty good shape. One of the things that I discovered, though, is the key fob that I was given is for this Viper system that was pulled out of the car, and because they thought it was draining the battery. Come to find out, what was actually draining the battery was one of the lights on the visors. You know, they got those little beauty mirrors, and one of them has been turned on, and Lord only knows how long it's been on, because I wrestled with it and I had a hard time getting it to turn off. Now that I got it turned off, the battery doesn't go flat. So we need to put an alarm system in here, because the fobs that came with this car are different than everybody else's key fobs. and they stopped making them over 10 years ago. And you can't even find used ones on eBay anymore. And GM hasn't sold them in, like I said, over 10 years. So we're going to have to put an aftermarket alarm system in there so we get the lock and unlock remotely. And I'm going to go ahead and get this thing rekeyed for the doors, because it didn't come with the door key, and the guy never had one, he says. So, which is hard to believe, but it is what it is. And everything else that's wrong with this car, I can fix. The electrical issue with the horn, getting it inspected, and getting it rekeyed, I think I'm going to go ahead and take it to our local Chevy dealership and let them take care of it. And other than that, we got a whole lot of parts on order that should be arriving next week. So we ought to have a series coming of doing little things to this thing to get it back in shape. Like I say, it's in pretty good shape for as old as it is, and it's obviously been in the garage most of its life. And all of the things, little things that I've found wrong with it are things that you would kind of expect a 1994 car to have in 2021. So let's wrap up the video now. I'm about ready to go to bed. I've gone and done a whole bunch of research, ordered a bunch of parts. Stuff's on its way. Now I have to do the hard part. I have to sit on my hands and wait for things to show up. And maybe take it to the Chevrolet dealership tomorrow morning. And after they get it inspected and get the thing fixed, take it over to Discount Tire and put all new tires on this thing, because I am not driving any long distances on these old tires. Because I don't know your experience, but my experience has been, you don't mess around with old tires. They come apart when you least expect it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out for a few minutes, taking a look at my new project, and come back and see us.